What's up YouTube, this is Collect Pokemon and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to explore the idea of CT scanning cards and how it will affect the Pokemon card market. This video is going to be a little bit of a longer video and the concept I try to explain here will be a little bit more complicated. That's why I have this set up in order to better help us understand the concept of CT card scanning. Now, disclaimer, no one reached out to me and basically I'm not speaking for any sort of company. I'm not speaking because some company reached out to me. I'm talking about this technology or this idea of using CT to scan cards. And if you ask me what stance do I take a stance where, I don't disagree with CT scanning, nor do I agree with CT scanning. I think that it is just something that is there, and I'm seeing this as something that, eventually someone sometimes will figure out. Just like the time when people started weighting cards, just like the time when people are starting to use metal detectors to detect cards. Just when people started to grade cards, actually, I'm taking a much more neutral stand into this. So yes, and that's why I'm not really against it, nor am I very for it. I just believe that it's existent, will be there, and it will coexist because and I don't want to talk about any particular company because I think that many different companies eventually will jump on board. Just like card grading. When card grading was very popular, people start jumping on board. There's multiple people grading cards. And CT scanning, maybe even PSA, would jump aboard, and PSA just simply hire a company with a CT scanner, and then they can authenticate packs, and you can have, instead of autograph, you can have scan packs. It's very likely BGS or even PSA, I think PSA out of all of them, or even CGC can easily do these. I'm not saying that they are doing it, disclaimer. I'm just saying that these larger companies who already authenticate, who have a system set up, can easily do this. Now, to me, what exactly is CT scanning to me? CT scanning to me is a additional product. Is a additional products that you can place along this money spectrum, this number line, this money spectrum. Now, what exactly is this money spectrum? I'm going to tell you. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, and support me on my membership program if you like some of these videos. Now, traditionally, what we're thinking about a money spectrum is how cards or what price of cards are. Something that you understand would be my PSA 10 first edition Charizard. It would be right here. PSA 9 first edition, further on this side. PSA 8 might be a little cheaper. And a raw card might be between a PSA 8 and a PSA 9. That is how we can spectrumize, or how we can put these cards into spectrum. Now, the idea is that most of the time, over time, as the card becomes more expensive, PSA 10 becomes more expensive, all the other ones will become more expensive, just like any sort of unweighted booster packs. If some of these single cards, especially in PSA 10, became more expensive, the unweighted booster packs, or the booster box, will go up with it. Simply what we see with Evolving Skies, something, or even base set first edition booster packs. So that is common knowledge. Now, for as long as I remember, people started to weight packs. And when they weight packs, they either tell people that they have a heavy pack or a light pack. And obviously, the heavy pack is going to be more expensive than the light pack because heavy pack has a chance to pull a holographic rare. I know it's not guaranteed, but I can guarantee you in a light pack, you will never pull this rare. That's usually what it is. And there are people who actually never talked about light packs. Back then, they called them unweighted packs. Because what's the point of telling people light packs when it's just unweighted? And I know you can say, okay, there are some people who are ethical collect Pokemon. They tell people light packs. So that is the pricing. Heavy pack, more expensive. Unweighted or light packs, slightly cheaper. And then the PSA 10, 9, 8 will be on the other side. That's usually how packs cost, or what packs cost. Because I know you're gonna say, hey, collect Pokemon, what about booster box? I'm just talking about packs right now because currently many places are offering to scan pack for people. Now that is what is exactly happening up to now. Before the existence of CT scan, this was what the market was. Now, if I switch these cards from our first edition Charizard, because first edition Charizard can be found in heavy packs, but there's no such thing as heavy and light pack anymore for the Sun and Sword and Shield era. So I'm going to replace those with our well-known Umbreon V Max. PSA 10 here, raw and 8 and 9s, and so on. Now here's the thing. Here we have none of these packs, not the heavy, not the light, unweighted, or the light packs. Instead of the unweighted pack, I'm going to sub it in with a un-CT'd pack. Yes, I am definitely going to copyright this, trademark this or something like that. It's un-CT'd pack. So un-CT'd. So, okay, everyone believes that there's un-CT'd pack. Just like the time when all your packs was unweighted. And then what happened? Here's the magic. Back then, packs were unweighted, and then they started to add in heavy pack. Put it on this side. The money spectrum, heavy pack, more expensive. So when you have an un-CT pack, a CT pack will come here. Okay? It will just replace this monetary space in which a heavy pack is weighted. Now, does a heavy pack makes an unweighted pack cheaper? No, it doesn't. When an unweighted pack is there, heavy pack is here. It doesn't take up this space and push this downwards. It just doesn't happen. This product, unweighted pack, is here. Heavy pack is just sold more expensively. Same as an un-CT pack being here, a CT pack with hits is just gonna put up on a higher. It will not affect the price of this much. Now here's the thing. You're like, hey, collect Pokemon. It's still uncertain, right? You can have a hit. It could be any hit, right? How do I, what if I already knew that I was getting an Umbreon? All right, I have a CT Umbreon. Where should I put this? I would put it here, maybe a little cheaper, because it's still not 100% guarantee. CT Umbreon pack for Evolving Skies might be a little bit cheaper than an actual raw card. So it will just be placed there. It doesn't really affect the price of these. It just adds a new category, a new price point for these booster packs. Now, what about people that are very honest? They might have CT the card with no chase card. Just like the light pack guys, this is going to be placed here. So what I want to illustrate to you guys is that CT scanning of cards is just a new product. It's just another product that has been added in our Pokemon card world or the trading card world. It was added already, people doing it shadily, not letting people know. But even if they let people know, this is the thing we're gonna see. Because the CT'd Umbreon packs is still gonna be cheaper than the raw because there is still a chance of not pulling it. People say it's CT'd. Do we know it's CT'd? It's debatable. And even if we pull the CT Umbreon from the CT Umbreon pack, if we pull the Umbreon from the CT Umbreon pack, does it guarantee a PSA 10? Might not be. Really depends on the set. Some card quality in certain sets are better. So that's why it still won't affect this. It doesn't really affect it at all. Well, in my opinion, it wouldn't. And in the long run, as these cards go up in price, the whole spectrum, the whole thing here will shift with it. So people who are holding on to a lot of the older cards, no, it doesn't make your booster box less valuable. It would just make the booster box that is guaranteed to have the Umbreon more valuable. Does that make sense? Right? So That's that. It's just the adding on to it. Now, that is pretty much what I want to illustrate here. And I do want to close with a note on a few other points. I've watched other YouTubers and they have, I know no one's watching now, so I know how to make my video. Since no one's watching in the end, I can finally say something that is, more controversial in a way, but yeah. So other YouTubers have been, bashing against this, saying that this is bad. And they think that they're speaking on behalf of the entire Pokemon community. I mean, I respect their perspective, and but at the same time, it's a little, I don't know. But anyway, so what I want to say is this. Okay, one of the arguments was that it just ruins the hobby. People like this mystery, and people like this mystery. They don't want the cards to be looked at before them. Someone else has already looked into the cards. Well, people buy booster pack, mystery boosters, PokeRev, many YouTubers release mystery booster. Technically those are mystery booster when you open them, but technically they've also been seen by other people before. And, people had no issue with that. So I don't think that it destroys, the mystery of things. And here, what we're assuming is that, everyone is buying cards on eBay, and every eBay seller is going to be super dishonest, and they're going to CT scan, all the booster cases, the hundreds and hundreds of booster cases they buy from distribution. They're going to, scan all of them, CT scan all of them, and spend hours sifting through every single booster case, every single booster box to find the hit. And then after they find the hit, they sell off all the other ones without the hit at market price, at MSRP or something like that. That's not what business do. Business don't do that, they just sell it because, spending so much time, wasting so much time scanning that one individual booster box, it's a waste of time. I know you guys are gonna say, what about vintage? Like Pokemon vintage, it's worth the time. Yeah, vintage is worth. But for a majority of us, we don't collect vintage cards. We collect the newest release of cards, and so, it doesn't really take away that. No one's gonna peek into our booster boxes. No one's gonna actually, you can buy a booster box of, I don't know, Twilight Masquerade or something like that on the Pokemon Center website, and it's not going to be peeked because no one would be bothered to peek into that booster box. They're not going to scan through hundreds of cases to find a Greninja and maybe open that, and eventually they might get a PSA 9. So that is something that the shops, stores, people just don't do. So I think, the negativity that a lot of people are giving is just making the market panic, and I really don't agree with that. And the last thing I want to bring to you guys are sellers. Now, a lot of people will think that, hey, sellers are gonna sell CT scan Umbreon pack at a much higher premium. No, they won't. And here's the thing, even if they scan that there's an Umbreon, they're not going to sell it as an Umbreon. They might as well open it and sell the Umbreon, because if you list that you have CT scanned a pack and it's guaranteed an Umbreon, and you send it to a seller, or send it to a buyer, the buyer can easily switch up the packs and say that, hey, it's not as described. There's no Umbreon in it. You have to refund the pack. So no seller will be stupid enough to actually list their booster packs as sold as CT scan. I'm gonna get some water. So that's what I think. It's just not it's not possible. It's just unlikely that it's gonna happen because there's so much more to lose than to gain. Now, what I said in my last video was that being able to CT scan stuff is actually very, very good. There's a lot of sealed collectors for for Mario Pikachu, Luigi Pikachu, Poncho Pikachu's first edition booster box. If they have access to this technology, they can scan. They can actually, if I'm gonna pay a couple of hundred thousands of dollars for a booster case or a booster box, I would actually go to a lab to scan that booster box with you to make sure that it is authentic and it is the actual deal. It's a real card inside. Yeah, I would actually go and do that, because if I'm spending that much money, knowing that this technology exists to guarantee that my cards, the things I'm buying, is not fake, I would definitely do it. So I think that there is this positive side that CT scan can bring to the hobby. And it's not just all negative that everyone is talking about. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. This is Collect Pokemon. Bye bye.